Here she goes again. Hide your face, hide your neck, duck your head, wear an NFL football helmet when you are playing in a game versus Dijonai Carrington. Fresh off of clotheslining, a Kane and Undertaker clothesline from hell that she delivered to Sophie Cunningham. This girl is right back on the court, hitting people upside the head once again.
Hands up, swipe for the ball with our right hand while poking the player in the eye with the left hand.
Hey, we're poking eyeballs out again. Is that what we're doing? We're eye gouging again?
In sports, there's a point at which a trend ceases to seem like bad luck and begins to appear like a habit, and Dijonai Carrington recently reached that point. She was back on the court against the Golden State Valkyries 4 days after being expelled for flagrant 2 against Sophie Cunningham. During that game, she had 2 more incidents that put her hands in risk. One seemed to communicate with Cecilia Zandalicini in the vicinity of the eye, and another struck Tiffany Hayes in the mouth. The same game with 2 distinct participants and 2 distinct plays. Fans weren't waiting to discuss if the touch was unintentional this time. They were already wondering if Carrington's physical style of play had a bigger issue as a result of the recurring incidents.
I tried to tell ya. I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. Dijonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week, in just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke. Mrs. Flagrant foul, I'm gonna grab your head, I'm gonna hit your head, upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'm gonna pull your hair. Mrs. I'm gonna whack you on the back of your head. Mrs. Long, nailed, sharp knobbed fingertips. Dijonai Carrington strikes.
Carrington was playing perimeter defense for Zandalicini on the opening play. While both players were vying for position, her left hand swept forward and made contact around Zandalicini's eye, while her right hand seemed to be reaching for the ball. Tiffany Hayes drove toward the hoop to make a layup later in the same game. Carrington followed her up, reaching down to touch Hayes' mouth. Neither play resulted in a technical fall or was deemed an egregious foul. Carrington was given a technical, and already tense evening was made worse early in the game for clashing with an official in the third quarter. The 2 rough plays, which occurred just days after her flagrant 2 charge involving Sophie Cunningham, soon became a significant talking topic, regardless of whether they were deliberate or just aggressive defensive moves.
And then she put both hands up right after. But that's Dijonai.
Yeah, I gouged another white girl. Yeah, I gouged another white girl while wearing your Sophie Cunningham wig. I am officially. Hey, this ain't Clerks 2, but I'm taking back Sophie Cunningham's hair. I'm taking it back. You got Sophie Cunningham's hair on while you're poking the white girls in the eyeballs.
This is when things become serious, since this isn't a rookie adjusting to the league's physicality and speed. This seasoned athlete has years of professional experience and a past that includes the much-discussed Caitlin Clark playoff incident in 2024. At the time, Carrington denied purposefully aiming for her eye, and Clark stated she didn't think the contact was deliberate. All right. In a fast-paced, physical game, a single event may occur, and when players' intentions are unclear, they should be given the benefit of the doubt. However, when comparable situations continue to involve facial contact, the question's inevitably gotten more difficult to ignore. One incident can be an accident. It is still possible for a second to be a coincidence. However, referees should pay more attention to repetitive contact in high-risk regions, particularly when player safety is at stake. Although it doesn't establish purpose, it does highlight the significance of consistency in officiating.
They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player. She makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of Dijonai Carrington, who is definitely
one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails. She's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same swat and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty plays, and it's fine. The NBA, you can...
It's important to highlight Carrington's physical prowess, since it contributes to the frustration this situation causes for those who truly admire her skill. She has established herself as a versatile defender with the length, quickness, reflexes, and anticipation to guard several positions. She was once a nominee for Most Improved Player. Teams still appreciate what she contributes to the court because of this. Nobody is genuinely disputing that she is a gifted basketball player. Her aggressive attitude has been criticized for occasionally going too far and putting other players at undue risk. A player's value can be explained by their talent, but it does not justify risky contact. Additionally, the current discourse around Carrington has moved away from her defensive stance.
I have a photo from the flagrant 2 on Dijonai Carrington against Sophie Cunningham where she proceeded to go into the locker room and tweet white privilege after being thrown out of the game. I'm not going to comment on that situation, but I will say this. This is a flagrant 2. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, don't matter. This is a flagrant. I mean, she clotheslined her. What more do you want? So, this looks very bad. It just shows that the WNBA is nowhere near where they need to be professionally. Because again, this is a clothesline. It's a flagrant 2.
The Valkyries game did not occur in a vacuum. Thus, we must return to the original location of this entire storm. Carrington was involved in one of the most talked about fouls of the WNBA season 4 days prior. On a fast break layup, Sophie Cunningham was in the air when Carrington struck her across the head and neck from behind. Cunningham struck the ground forcefully, and after review, the authorities upgraded the initial flagrant 1 assessment to a flagrant 2. The impact, the follow-through, and the type of contact all played a role in the decision. The outcome was an immediate ejection, making the play a hot topic of conversation throughout the league. Even while the decision proved that the touch qualified as a flagrant 2, it did not prove Carrington's intentions on its own. When talking about what transpired next, that distinction is crucial. The events involving Zandalicini and Hayes 4 days later only served to heighten criticism of Carrington's physical style of play.
White privilege after getting tossed from the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, I mean, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and it got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet. Maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any idea what she's talking about. Bizarre.
Now consider this time frame. After being ejected in the first quarter for a foul that the officials deemed harsh, this player scored 8 points in 4 minutes off the bench. 4 days later, he was involved in 2 more incidents involving contact around the face in the same game. It makes sense that the criticism surrounding her muscular style of play has increased after that event. However, it's crucial to keep assumptions about intent apart from the facts. Without necessarily demonstrating that a player is intentionally targeting opponents, a number of situations can raise valid concerns regarding discipline and defensive strategy. This leads us to a tweet that has been widely shared ever since this saga started, because it draws attention to something that is not captured by numbers alone. The article makes the case that Carrington's career path is worrisome, citing the number of teams she has joined and implying that a lot of businesses eventually made the decision to move on. The fundamental subject is still worth investigating, regardless of whether every detail in that tweet is true or overdone for impact. What does her real transaction history tell us? Carrington relocated to Dallas in February 2024 after being drafted by Connecticut in 2021. After that, she signed a 1-year contract with Chicago after joining Minnesota. That's a lot of organizations in a short amount of time, but many factors such as roster building, contracts, trades, injuries, and shifts in the team's course. Therefore, it would be unjust to assume that every trade represents a team's rejection of her due to her behavior. However, the league is finding it more and more difficult to ignore the tale produced by her tough defensive reputation, the recent flagrant 2 dismissal, and the 2 consecutive events against Golden State. Carrington's ability to play is no longer the key question. She obviously can. It remains to be seen if she can sustain that kind of passion without continuously placing opponents in peril.
5 when it comes to Dijonai Carrington. Here she is on the floor being dirty once again. The girl cannot help herself at this point. She can't help it. Take a look at this. Okay, you swing at the ball, but then you hit her all in the face with your other hand, and then you put your hands up like you didn't do nothing. You hitting her all in the face. Look at this. Watch her left hand. The right hand right here went to the ball. Watch this left hand. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? When is enough with this chick? Come on. Come on. You hitting people in the face. It's over and over and over. How many times do we have to win?
A player may be moved frequently for a variety of reasons, including fit, rebuilding, or just business. However, it's crucial to remember that not every roster change is a silent assessment of a player's behavior or character. Contracts, injuries, pay structures, coaching changes, and long-term roster planning are all factors that teams consider when making decisions. However, there are valid concerns about whether Carrington's aggressive approach is being consistently controlled given her recent flagrant 2 dismissal and the 2 subsequent incidents in the next game. Following the Cunningham incident, her social media post also changed the topic of discussion from basketball to racial issues, refereeing, and relationships between players. This increased the controversy and made it harder to disentangle it from the first foul. She has already been involved in 2 further incidents in the same game, less than a week later. Although it doesn't prove either play was deliberate, it does place the league in a situation where consistency is important. This is precisely the kind of scenario that determines whether the WNBA's player safety regulations are being followed consistently or if more stringent measures are simply taken in response to public outcry.
Y'all look at y'all favorite player.
Went over
Look,
to one of
watch
the officials as you see Sarah Williams there.
She trying to make it seem like a fan did something crazy to her, right? While I watch.
At the moment.
Look at what y'all looking at. They going to talk to that dude. They've been trying to make him leave, right? She's trying to get somebody kicked out. So he getting up. He end up leaving, right? He end up leaving. So they got to investigate. They got to investigate. Now look at the 4th quarter. Look at who you see back sitting out there. He's sitting right there. That's him right there. And see, these are the type of games that they play when they in the wrong, right? And it's not a coincidence that this stuff is happening because she's been dirty forever. But has she been getting people kicked out like that or attempting to get people kicked out like that? No. Now all of a sudden, now it's time to start kicking people out. Man, it's cool.
Fans have definitely taken note. It's no longer just that people remark she had a difficult game. They claim that she exhibits a pattern, and in this industry, patterns are given names. iPoker is not a brand new moniker. It has been following her since the Clark episode in 2024, but now that it's not just one isolated occurrence from more than a year ago, it's being spoken with much less patience and much more edge. In the course of a single week, there are 3 distinct players and 3 distinct faces. For Carrington, the responsibility problem is crucial since, following the Cunningham foul, rather of addressing the play itself, she discussed white privilege from the locker room. Regardless of the motivation behind that post, the real basketball question was whether that foul was risky and whether she had a history of dangerous fouls. Was lost for days in a different controversy. Additionally, both storylines are merging simultaneously now that the Valkyries game has taken place, and neither one gives her a sense of accountability for what is happening on the floor.
Poked her in the eyes. Bow, went for the ball. I mean, like, where like, there's no, you hit the ball on that one, and right here, like, it was like, all right, I missed the ball, now I gotta smack you. I'm like, Come on, guys. Like, and I know the community is gonna say she went for the ball. She went for the ball. Yeah, I mean, I know her head might be shaped like a ball. We all, it's a similarity there. But there's no way Dijonai Carrington continuously gets away with this time after time after time. Like, the compilations, Dijonai, is not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's absolutely not good for you. You're poking people in the eye, flagrant fouling people. Like, what are you doing? You swipe for the ball and then you smack the right in the eyes. Like, this is dirty as dirt.
Every time this occurs, more than just Carrington's career is at risk, so it's important to have a fairness discussion. The coaching staff must now consider if Cecilia Zandalicini requires more protection each time Carrington switches onto her over the remainder of that game and the remainder of the season. When the ball wasn't even in either player's hands during a live basketball play, Tiffany Hayes struck them in the face. After the foul, Sophie Cunningham appeared disturbed and exited the floor. It took teammates intervening to prevent the issue from getting worse. These statistics are not abstract, because the individual guarding them has a reputation for playing right up against the edge of the rulebook and, according to many fans watching attentively, sometimes beyond it, these are genuine athletes absorbing real contact every night.
Did Dijonai Carrington break more WNBA rules by being on her phone while being ejected? That is a widely spread rumor that started basically after the game and went into overnight. That she should be suspended because she was on her phone after being ejected, and then somebody shared this rule or a screenshot of WNBA rules. So I went to the rules myself. It's a 91-page document, and I've been searching every keyword and every possibility to try to find this rule that they're saying exists. That players aren't allowed to be on any electronic device or their phones 30 minutes before the game or 30 minutes up to 30 minutes after the game or something.
Then there's the aspect of the narrative that adds a whole other level of complexity. After Carrington was ejected, rumors and videos began circulating claiming she was seen using her phone throughout the game while still wearing her uniform. Given how stringent the league's current standards are, this may be a serious issue. Recall that the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement forbids players from placing direct or indirect bets on any part of a WNBA game. This season, the league has been very cautious about anything pertaining to phones or gambling after having to confront a promotional film featuring players making jokes about wagering. That is not something that should be dismissed. The league should explain what truly transpired if the allegations are true. Fans have quickly noticed that a league runs the risk of appearing contradictory if it speaks harshly about gambling regulations in one breath, while remaining silent about possible phone use in another.
How many times, how many people are you just going to hit in the face? Let me freeze it right there. It's like every single game, you are hitting somebody else in the face. Every game, you're hitting somebody in the face like this, and that wasn't even the worst. Take a look at this play right here. This girl's a menace in the league. I'm telling you, she's a menace. It's unsafe for people to be out there with her. It's unsafe. Let's go here. Now take a look at this. You got Tiffany Hayes driving to the rim. And watch, here goes Dijonai Carrington right here. Here goes Dijonai Carrington. Watch her. You're nowhere near the ball, dude. You are nowhere near the fucking ball. Like, stop.
And that's the main reason this narrative has developed into something more than just another difficult box score night. This is not an isolated incident that is overlooked after a week. Over the past several seasons, Carrington has been involved in numerous instances involving contact around the face with other opponents. Now, 2 more incidences are occurring just days after the Cunningham foul. Every time it occurs, the justification is something along the lines of "that wasn't deliberate." Even if purpose is important, recurring instances always prompt concerns about accountability, discipline, and technique. Eventually, the pattern itself is included in the discussion, even if it doesn't demonstrate the player's mind. However, a player who consistently makes headlines for contact around the face rather than stops, deflections, and outstanding defensive plays cannot be the focal point of a defensive identity. The narrative isn't Carrington had a wonderful defensive possession. Each time this occurs, it's Carrington did it again. That is a reputational issue, and in a league like this, reputational issues can easily outgrow the original play.
At some point, the WNBA front office is going to have to admit this chick is intentionally targeting the face. Here's Mick. I don't even know how you do this intentionally. The ball is behind her, and she went for the ball with her right hand while clawing her in the face with her left hand. Yeah. White girls are only 15% of the WNBA, but seem disproportionately targeted by Dijonai, the condiment made by mixing mayonnaise and Dijon mustard. Fair enough. Another dirty play by Dijonai. I wonder, is this white privilege as well? Does this qualify as white privilege? Ooh. This is more like Dijonai.
This goes beyond the reputation of a single player, so take a moment to consider it from a commercial perspective. Over the past 2 seasons, the WNBA has benefited greatly from increased visibility, new television agreements, and more sponsorship revenue. The league's ability to maintain a professional and competitive image is crucial to much of that growth. Every time something like this goes viral for the wrong reasons, whether it's a risky foul, a locker room post that sparks a national discussion, or a rumor about phone use connected to gambling policy, everyone's situation gets more problematic the longer it is involved. Additionally, since Carrington always wears their jersey, it presents an issue for Chicago in particular. A front office must eventually decide whether the on-court output justifies the ongoing dispute. And that choice might be made sooner than anyone anticipates if these instances continue to mount before the 1-year contract is even completed.